These last few weeks have been chaotic, stressful, intense.
Hi, John. Hi, everybody else. Hi,
Hi,
Betsy.
Julie.
I miss seeing my colleagues every day. They really move mountains to help older adults and families. I'm so inspired by the work that they're doing now through this crisis.
I had to do a delivery for Iona, and I came across this gentleman. He was in his late 80s, and he was very fearful, but at the same time, he was very lonely. I realized at that moment how important the work we do at Iona is. We're the lifeline for a lot of these people, to know that there's somebody that will support them and does care.
I've really been delighted that we've been able to continue and enhance our programming using Zoom.
So easy, and then the C major 7, you're just lifting up 2 fingers.
Kind of keeping those thumbs in your peripheral.
My primary focus has been connecting older adults in our service area with emergency meals provided by the DC Department of Aging. I've been really inspired by not only our staff connecting folks to these meals so rapidly, but also by the community's outpouring of love and support at our recent food drive.
As one person said to me, we're all in this boat together and we can help each other.
It really puts into perspective how Iona is really providing a source of hope during this time of uncertainty. What makes it worthwhile is when I hear feedback from clients and their loved ones expressing their gratitude for Iona being a lifesaver and a safe haven during these challenging times.
Hello, I'm Rita Ross, the president of Iona's Board of Directors, and I want to welcome you to our first ever online Heart of Caring event. This is certainly unprecedented, and I want to start by thanking you for allowing me and Iona to join you today in your home. I hope you all are safe and healthy and coping with this situation the best way you know how. I also want to thank all of our wonderful sponsors who are listed on the screen. Their support means that any money we raise today goes directly to Iona's programs. Each year, Iona directly helps more than 3,500 older adults and their families with the challenges and opportunities of aging. We do this by caring for, connecting, and nourishing people in mind, body, and spirit. I'm proud to be a part of Iona's work because I understand the vital service they provide to our community. I didn't have an Iona in my life when my mother passed away of what I now realize may have been an early onset of dementia, or when my father suddenly passed away at age 56 from diabetes complications. When I retired from the FDIC as an attorney following 30 years of federal service, I decided to take time to learn how to plan for my own aging, given my family medical history. I'm here to tell you that being involved with Iona has been and continues to be the gift that keeps on giving. Today, we will highlight the impact of our work, and you will hear stories about Iona and about how this current crisis is affecting the older adults and families we serve, and how we're responding to our community's needs. We hope you enjoy the rest of our program, and thank you again.
Hello, I'm Sally White, Iona's Executive Director. I never thought I'd be talking with you today this way. I never thought I'd be worried about so many people all of the time. I never thought I wouldn't be able to visit and hug my 97-year-old mother and to simply hold her hand. We're all experiencing the impacts of COVID-19, how it's made us spend more time at home and away from friends or family, or cause stress about errands like grocery shopping. I can't help but think of all the people Iona serves that have lived this way well before this crisis began. Since our doors opened 45 years ago, Iona's been fighting social isolation with all of our might, bringing people into our community and offering companionship, a sense of purpose, and a safety net. Today, we're facing our biggest battle. How do we build connections and community when we must remain physically distant to protect our health? Iona is finding solutions in ways we didn't think was possible just weeks ago. I'm so proud and in awe of all that our team has accomplished. Iona is almost completely a virtual operation right now. Our staff of 60 plus is working from home, and our center in Tenleytown is closed. Yet we continue to respond to urgent needs for food and medication for our older clients. We're working with over 400 very vulnerable older adults right now to be sure benefits don't run out, in-home services don't stop, and nutritious food, cleaning supplies, and basics like toilet paper gets delivered right to their doorsteps. We are so lucky that we have an incredible community of supporters who lined up at our building 2 weeks ago with over 200 cars packed full of canned goods, paper products, and cleaning supplies for us to redistribute to seniors in need. It's hard to imagine the kinds of urgent requests for help we're receiving during this crisis. Like when we got a call about Mr. M, who, in his late 90s, frail and bedbound, was abandoned by his home care providers because he tested positive for COVID-19. Iona was able to be his safety net and has coordinated food, regular wellness phone calls, and care at home. Or from Carrie, who lives by herself. She sent us an email because she was anxious being alone. She didn't know who else to contact. It makes me so proud to know that we could offer Carrie a community through our free virtual programs. She's now active in our fitness classes, book club, and discussion groups, all happening online. These are just two of the hundreds of older adults and family members Iona has supported through this crisis, and we don't yet know the many challenges ahead of us. The impact of extended isolation caused by COVID-19 on the mental health of older adults and their family caregivers cannot yet be fully measured. But we know it will be, and in many cases already is, profound. It's clear to us that continuing to offer our support groups, mental health therapy, and social activities by phone, online, and we hope in person again soon, is saving lives. Another key issue Iona works so hard to combat is senior hunger, and it too is impacted because of this pandemic. How many of you ever thought going to the grocery store would cause anxiety, that it would become a strategic mission? For so many of our clients, that's always been the case. Even before this crisis hit, there were scary statistics, like the fact that 1 in 5 older adults in DC are at risk of hunger and malnutrition. That means right now, we have older neighbors who wake up and don't know if they have enough food to get through the day. The pandemic has made it so much worse. When older adults can't get to the grocery store safely, or don't have access to technology to order food online. And with the economic landscape changing, even more seniors on tight budgets will face awful choices, like paying for rent, their medical bills, transportation, or food. Iona is also facing financial gaps that we've never experienced in our 45-year history. Because of the changes we've had to make to protect the health and safety of our community, like moving therapy and social activities to the phone, we aren't getting insurance reimbursements anymore for those services. They don't cover phone sessions. We've also lost revenue for programs that aren't happening in person. There is so much uncertainty for our future, but what we do know is that Iona is an essential service. We save lives. And this work must continue without cuts to our programs or staff. Too many people rely on us for food, for mental health therapy, for care coordination. They need our support, our care, our presence, and we want to be there for them. While we're all experiencing social distancing or stress with getting food right now, we know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel for us. But that's not the case for so many older adults who had these struggles before COVID and will still have them after COVID unless you help. We need you to be our partners so that Iona can continue to offer care, connections, and nourishment today, tomorrow, and for the next 45 years. Thank you. Now I'd like to share with you a film featuring 3 stories from some of the people in our community.
Tom is that steady, kind, solid person that is a calming presence. People look to him with trust.
Michael is a very kind and gentle individual. We've been married for almost 10 years. Yeah. Yes.
He's my life partner. He's my best friend. He's lovable. He doesn't like for you to know that part, but he's a very lovable guy.
She's my baby. She remembers stuff forever. Especially if you've wronged her.
You're supposed to tell him good stuff, Lovey.
He was just a very funny person, and then I learned just how caring he can be and just how much of a wonderful person he is. Aren't you?
Of course.
Of course he is.
He's an artist at heart. He does photography, graphic art. He's a member of Mensa. He was a member of the Cosmos Club.
He had a long 27-year career in the Navy. He was a naval aviator.
And so once he had the stroke, of course, he's been confined to bed.
I was starting to fall a lot. And I didn't understand it. I fell at the front door one day when Connie wasn't here. I was in trouble after that.
I was at the airport and I called. We were having a conversation and I could tell that his tongue was getting thicker. And the longer I held him on the phone, the less coherent his words were. And I said to the housekeeper, dial 911. And I said, Steve, you're having a stroke. And by the time we got off the phone, he was not able to respond. I've worked as a policy professional, health educator. But when Steve had the stroke, I was completely lost. I just felt like, we were all alone. I mean, I know people have strokes and people recover, but we were the people, and I just didn't know what to do. And so, people were very kind to us. We were introduced to Danielle, and she would actually help me complete applications and make phone calls and follow up with people. And so now we have almost everything we need. As much as I could ask for. We have support 7 days a week. We have meals that come. You really feel like you just have somebody just walking through it with you.
Michael was diagnosed with early onset dementia. He was at home by himself a lot. He was starting to lose a lot of his speaking abilities, and he was very worried about me. I would call him during the day to make sure he was okay. He would call me, and when he would call me, it was a sense of urgency of, where are you? I need you here. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. And that got to a point where I was like, I can't leave him at home alone anymore.
When I was going through the diagnosis stage with Michael, I lost my mother and my sister within 3 days of each other. You're sad, but you really have to push through. If I fester on the bad things too much, it overwhelms you and it's hard to move on.
I had to start looking for a place that he could be during the day that would put him in a place that he was able to be active and be able to try to retain as much of his ability to speak and to think as possible. And I think when I found Iona, that was a lifesaver to be able to do that.
We serve a community of DC residents who are over the age of 60, regardless of income, ability, and our active wellness program focuses on nutrition, activities, social interaction.
A lot of people here don't have the social outlets or contacts, and so when they eat around a table regularly, that's a big help.
You have a venue where people can interact comfortably and allow their personalities to form the community that they thrive in.
I don't want him to be in a place that's hospital-like, that he's just sitting there around with a bunch of nurses in a vegetative state. I want a place where he can be active. I want a place where he can be interactive with individuals, and I think that I have found that with Iona.
That type of caring, combined with her knowledge set, I think is largely responsible for the success of this program.
For me personally, as a caregiver, it's been extraordinary peace of mind to the sense where I can go to work in the mornings and know that he is safe, he's being taken care of. I have a very small family support group, but I have Iona.
You need kind of an outsider looking over you and helping you pull the whole thing together. And so I think that's like the real value of having a service or an organization like Iona.
My mother is very strong, I think. Very strong, very friendly, and resilient. She's had a lot of changes in her life the last year. She was staying with my sister in South Florida. A year ago, my sister passed. And so I had to bring my mother up to Washington, D.C. So it was difficult for her. The first several months, it was very difficult. I was told about Iona, and Iona was fantastic. I called them up. They had this information and referral service. They got us help. It was my biggest worry that she was home alone. I'm at work, she's watching TV, and she's bored stiff and knows hardly anyone here. So I was able to get her into Iona, and boy, does she love Iona.
Oh, yes, I do.
You know, just the peace of mind, knowing that my mother is well cared for and well loved and respected, and she's just enjoying herself, just really takes a burden off of my mind. She loves it, and it was hard for her when we had to stay at home. But Iona has developed this programming on Zoom that allows her to get up and still go to Iona, but this time it's on the computer, right? And the first time she saw her friends, they all like went nuts saying, hi, I miss you. And so it brought tears to my eyes to see how much they really missed each other, love each other, and just have this relationship. So it was brilliant to bring the program right here into our living room so she can get up and still go to Iona.
I would say it's good to be there because everybody there is so loving and kind to you.
You enjoy
I enjoy everything.
Programs, the exercises.
I enjoy everything.
The music.
The music, the food.
Yes, we get meals every day. get juice and yogurt and milk and a complete dinner. Which is a great help.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, food, financially as well as time. I can just pop those in the oven, and she has her meal, and then I can be free to do other things. And for me, it really is. I think about this. If I have 2 hours, I don't want to spend it in the kitchen cleaning up. I'd rather spend the 2 hours playing Scrabble with my mother.
Where will I be without Iona? I have a simple word: lost. I was new to DC in so many ways. I had come from Colorado and I had to relocate. Coming to a new place out of the blue at my age was not what I wanted to do. It was not in my plan. So I had fear, I had grief. I was strolling in front of the building just at St. Albans at the corner of Massachusetts and Wisconsin. And I entered the opportunity shop. But it wasn't the shop that called my attention. It was the activity that I heard on the second floor. And here I am, 7 years later. I find life, I find light, I found fun, good food, great activities, exercise, beautiful friends, companionship. Heaven. We all come there like it is our second home. So I cannot even imagine not being able to gather with my fellow friends, women, men, that are like me, kindred spirits. We share, we're kind. And where would you get the love and care that you get when you enter that program? So now that my life is on Zoom, basically, it's an adjustment. I cannot say that it's better than being there, no, because nothing takes that away, the being at the center, the people, the human beings, the hugs. It's hard, I must tell you, and I am strong. I wonder about my friends there, but they are not sick, and how they are. But given the circumstances, it is the most exciting, life-giving connection that I can have at this moment. So it's a routine. It's a reason to be grateful for. We must support, we mean all, must support the service that Iona provides. It cannot go away. It must not go away. I cannot imagine what would be like going through this crisis, this enormous crisis affecting so many without Iona.
Thank you to our speakers for taking time to share their stories. Hello, I'm Jennifer Disharoon, and I'm a member of Iona's Board of Directors. Since our community has had to stay at home, older adults are feeling more alone, more anxious, and more helpless than ever before. And issues that were already bad, like senior hunger and social isolation, are that much worse. We need Iona to be a safety net, a lifeline, and a connection. Today, it is my privilege to ask you to help us grow our giving society, the Caregiver Circle. I'm thrilled to announce that a group of wonderful Iona donors have made gifts to challenge us all today to support Iona. Their goal was to inspire you all to give generously today, and will match your donation dollar for dollar up to $100,000. Now is the time to open the link below in the description section of this video to view our donation form and options. You can also find a link to our donation form in the email you received about this event. Starting at the top, the first section is for those who would like to make a 5-year pledge to Iona and become a member of our Caregiver Circle. The Caregiver Circle pledge levels are meant to give you a sense of what your contribution can do. Your gift will go toward the unrestricted operating funds of Iona. The first giving level, Circle of Care, is a pledge of $1,000 a year for 5 years, which is approximately $83 a month. Your gift would support the coordination of home delivery meals for 42 homebound seniors every month. The next giving level is our Circle of Compassion, which is a pledge for $10,000 a year for 5 years. You would provide 200 mental health counseling sessions by phone, which aren't covered by insurance during this crisis. The last level, Circle of Community, is a pledge of $25,000 a year for 5 years. You would support 4 months of intensive case management for 35 individuals and families like Carmelita and Stephen, who you saw in the video. Thank you so much to those of you who have just become new members of the Caregiver Circle. For those of you who may prefer to give at a different level, the next section is for you. Please click on the button that says Other Gifts. This is where you can make a gift of any size at any frequency, including a one-time or monthly gift. If your gift is for $1,000 or more for 5 years, you will become a member of the Caregiver Circle. Whatever you are able to give, it will make a huge difference for the older adults and families we serve. If you'd prefer to mail in your donation, please click the button to print a pledge card and send it in. Finally, you may have some other ideas for us or another way you'd like to contribute. If that's the case, please click the Contact Us button to send us an email. We'd be happy to hear from you. Our contact information is also listed below. Thank you for tuning in to listen and to learn about our mission. Please take a moment to fill out your donation card and submit it today. Thank you.
I love Iona. I don't know how I could have really done this without the support.
I'm really thankful for all the support for the older adults in our neighborhood and our communities who are really struggling during this time. So thank you.
So Iona deserves our committed support, and I say Iona cannot go away.
Thank you so much for looking out for our older neighbors.
A huge thank you to the Iona volunteers.
Thank you so much for supporting our community and helping
our clients and older adults in our community.
Thank you for all your support of Iona.
It really does make all the difference.
We so much appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I miss you all very much.
I miss you guys.
I really miss them so much.
It's a family.
I hope to see all of you in person very soon.
We're going to be okay. Together we'll get through this.
I miss you guys, and I'm excited for this all to be over. And I am very inspired by people's creativity in these times. Just want you guys to see this.
Eyes on, everybody! Happy birthday to you!
It's a nice place to go. Everybody loves you.
Thank you so much for being with us today. And thank you for ensuring that Iona will be there tomorrow and well into the future.